The 7th day of December. Pendulum was 2 days late for Christmas visit in the Nice Palace. Balto made a decision. He would go to the White Palace himself to fetch his brother. "Papa," Clipper asked, "is it possible that the prince has made the White Palace vanish with his magic compass?" "That's a thought that never crossed my mind," Balto said. "All the more reasons to hurry." "Papa," Clipper continued, "what if the Nice Palace vanishes while you're away? Would we vanish too?" Balto scratched his jaw. This was also a possibility. "We'll all go to the White Palace," he said. "Hurry, get ready." They all packed a small cloth sack and tied it to the end of a pole. They hoisted the poles over their shoulders. The sacks were filled with lots of rice pudding to keep them fed on their trip to the White Palace. Balto opened up a trap door in the floor of the Nice Palace. "Watch your heads," he cautioned, as they all climbed down the ladder leading towards the burrows. When everyone was safely below, Balto shut the trap door. "Can I light the torch?" Clipper asked. "We don't need torches in the burrows," Balto said. "There's always light." And as Clipper stepped from the ladder into the burrows, he could see it was true. "But how can there be light when there's no sun or torches?" Clipper asked. "The walls of the burrows are studded with light stones," Tandra explained. Clipper examined the walls. Sure enough, they were covered with white, small stones that shone like hundreds of tiny, brilliant lights. The burrows ran beneath all the palaces of the kingdom. They had been built many generations ago. "Who built these tunnels?" Clipper asked. "No one knows," Tandra answered. "Nieces have always used them to travel from one palace to another. They protect us from the roving eyes of the trolls of the glen. When the trolls look into their vat of boiling milk, they can't see anything that moves in the burrows." At noon, the nieces had reached a crossroads. They decided to stop and have their lunch. Tandra served rice pudding. When they finished eating, they continued on their way. The crossroads was marked with 2 signs, and the traveling nieces took the road to the White Palace. "If we keep a good pace, we should be there by supper," Balto said. The thought of dinner made his stomach growl, even though he had just finished lunch. "It sounds like thunder," Clipper remarked, laughing. "It's just my stomach," Balto said, blushing. Tandra and Clipper grinned and followed Balto through the burrows. At the same time, the nieces reached the crossroads. Archibald unlocked the door to the cell deep in the dungeons of the troll castle. "I brought you some nice cold soup," he said, offering the bowl to Pendulum. Pendulum took a big gulp of the soup. It was cold and not very tasty. "You trolls could learn a thing or two about making soup," he said, thinking about the hot rice pudding waiting for him at the Nice Palace. "If you don't like the soup, I can make you something else," Archibald offered. "Why are you being so nice to me?" "Because you are our guest, and we never have guests. I want to be your friend," Archibald said. "Friend? A troll? Why would a troll want to be friends with a niece?" "Because I would like to have more friends. Spike and I are good friends. Do you want to be my friend? We're not all bad. Trolls have a good side, too." Archibald: "Trolls are strong and very brave. We're not sad on rainy days. We like to cook and make a stew. Have you ever tasted boiled glue? Trolls have a good side, too." Pendulum: "But trolls are fat and ugly. Phew. I'll hold my breath if you take off your shoe. You like spiders and a dirty room. Whoever saw a troll with a broom?" Archibald: "Trolls have eyes that see at night. They even sparkle at first day's light. We brush our fur from head to foot. Sometimes we even make our bed. Trolls have a good size, too." Pendulum: "But trolls are rotten to the core, closing windows and slamming doors. Fresh air makes them sniff and sneeze. Whoever heard a troll say please?" Archibald: "Some trolls make lifelong friendships, just as Spike about our kinship. Trolls have a good side, too." While Archibald and Spike were busy making friends with Pendulum, Fanica was upstairs in the kitchen stirring her vat of boiling milk. Although she could see no sign of Balto, Tandra, or Clipper, she had a plan. "Sooner or later the nieces will start looking for Pendulum, when he doesn't arrive for Christmas. When they do, I'll be ready for them. I'll make them take me back to the Nice Palace, where I will find the Nice Handbook." Fanica gave her vat of boiling milk another stir and sat back in her rocking chair to review her plan. As the sun set that evening, the Nice family emerged from the burrows beneath the White Palace. They went directly into Pendulum's workshop. "Look, Mamma," Clipper said. "The table is scattered with crumbs." "There's something mysterious about all this," Tandra said. Balto removed a magnifying glass from his sack and walked around Pendulum's workbench. Suddenly he stopped and gasped. "What is it, Papa? What have you found?" Clipper asked. "This is a sorry state of affairs. Sorry state of affairs indeed." "What is it?" Tandra said. Balto held up a long, stiff bristle between his fingers. It looked like a piece of straw from a wicker broom, but Balto knew it was from the fur of a troll. What does it mean, Papa? The trolls are always shedding, leaving a trail of fur behind them. They've been here and probably captured Pendulum. What should we do? Clipper asked. We have to go back to the Nice Palace and consult the Nice Handbook. We must find that route that will lead us to Troll Castle so we can rescue Pendulum, Tandra answered calmly. But we already know where the trolls live. You told us yourself. They live in the glen, Clipper said. Yes, but we don't know where that is. Just the trolls can't find the Nice Palace. We don't know where the glen is. We have to find the route, and when we found it, we'll go to the glen and rescue Pendulum. If Pendulum remains a prisoner, we'll never be able to get the magic compass and stop it from making the palaces vanish. Come on, we can't waste any more time, Tandra said. The nieces gathered their things and left Pendulum's workshop. They would return to the safety of the Nice Palace through the burrows. And in all the excitement, Clipper had not seen the mechanical toy standing in the corner of the workshop, the one that Pendulum had made for him for Christmas. But Balto had seen it, and he carefully hid it in a sack to take back to the Nice Palace. The journey home to the Nice Palace would take most of the night. Luckily, Balto had packed extra rice pudding. They would not be hungry. Clo followed the actions of the nieces on the flames of his fireplace. He knew they were headed back to the Nice Palace. Once home, they would consult the Nice Handbook to find the path to the Troll Castle. Clo looked at the calendar on his wall. It was already the 7th day of December. He hoped the nieces would be able to rescue Pendulum soon. Safe home, my little friends, Clo whispered into the flames as he prepared to retire for the night. Until tomorrow, he said, snuffing the candle. Will the nieces be able to find the path to the Troll Castle and rescue Pendulum? Will Fanika catch them before they do? Until tomorrow. Good night.